Hello, I'm David.
And I'm Louisa, and welcome to my cruise review on Scenic Azure.
Okay, so to start with, do you want to tell us a little bit about the ship you went on and who you went with and where you went?
Yeah, so I went on a Scenic River Cruise and sailed on Scenic Azure in Portugal. We flew in and out of Porto and sailed on Douro.
Was this your first river cruise?
Yes, first full river cruise. So it was really great experiencing the sailing, going through the locks, the scenery. Yeah, it was great.
That's great. So what was the itinerary like? Where did you visit?
So we went to the Douro Museum along the way. We went to the Matthias Palace. We visited a few of the small Portuguese villages, which was just so great to see. Wine estates, and we also had time in Porto for the last day, so it was great to see that as a city as well.
Was that an overnight stay in Porto?
Yes, the last night we were overnight, so we had the full day and then the evening there as well.
Oh,
So
sounds
it's
really
really
nice.
nice.
Does sound nice. Okay, so moving on to the ship, do you want to talk a little bit about the accommodation?
Yes, so we had a B grade balcony suite, suite 203, so on deck 2, more towards the midship and the stairs. It was actually quite nice. It was very convenient just to pop back to the room, although the ship is small, so any of the rooms are pretty convenient. So we walked into the room, large bed, very comfortable. It also had the system on it where you could lift the top of the bed up or your feet up, which was great. We then went into the bathroom, walk-in shower, great L'Occitane products, plenty of towels, flannels, nice space, lots of storage as well. There's a sliding mirror and cupboards underneath the sink as well. Then looking at the balcony, we were so lucky to have that. It's a French balcony, so the whole of the window moves down, but it's behind a curtain, or you can close a glass door as well. And then you've got 2 chairs and a table, so you can sit there, watch the world go by. The wardrobes, there's plenty of space, 2 sort of sets of rails, cupboards, drawers. And in there you had the minibar, and there was also an umbrella, walking poles, cushions for chairs, everything you needed.
Wow, okay. What was the service like? Did you have a butler?
We did. Our butler was Dario, who's very attentive. Anything we needed, he was there, ready to get it. And yeah, overall, fabulous service.
Okay, so anyone who knows anything about cruising with Scenic knows there's a lot of emphasis put on the onboard dining. So I'm kind of interested to know what it was like on this ship.
Oh, the food was excellent. Anyone that knows me knows how much of a foodie I am.
True.
And it did not disappoint at all. We had the crystal dining where you could have breakfast, lunch and dinner. They had Portuguese themed nights, so much variety of different food. There was a alternative menu, so you could always go off that if you didn't fancy what was on the main menu. They had the chef's recommendations. They had sort of a low calorie, low carb option as well. We had the specialty dining of portobellos, which was incredible. 7 courses, Portuguese themed. The chef did a little bit of a demonstration, and it was just such a great experience to have.
So did you have room service at any point during the?
We had room service once, just had a pizza just to try, but we enjoyed, dressing up and going out of the evening and enjoying the food and seeing everybody. And yeah, it was nice to see all the waiters and everything. They were so accommodating and friendly, and yeah, get you everything that you want.
Okay, so another thing that Scenic are highly regarded for is the shore excursion program.
Yes.
So I'm kind of interested to know what was offered to you, how much of it was included, and just the kind of experiences that were available.
Yes, so the all tours were included. We had some really great experiences. Also, what's nice about the Douro that we had spoken to with other passengers is that you have quite a lot of sailing time as well. So often we would have a tour in the morning and then be sailing in the afternoon, or vice versa. So yeah, we went to a Douro Museum one day. We went to the Matthias Palace. We visited a few Portuguese villages. One was the Scenic Village programme. We went and tried local bread, local port. We also went to a silk museum. Lots of things, and like I said, it was nice that it was sort of half-day excursions, so you'd be in a coach for say about 30 minutes, have a couple of hours tour, and then you were back at the ship, so you had time to relax as well as experiencing the Portuguese culture as well.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think like sometimes when you go on a cruise, as much as you want to do the excursions and see the places you're visiting, you also want to make sure you've got enough time actually on the ship to enjoy the facilities.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. So I quite like that idea of it being quite evenly split.
Yeah, it was really nice, and like you say, we could see the culture as well as experiencing the ship and, you know, enjoying both sides to it.
Okay, so of all the tours that you had the opportunity to do, was there anything that particularly stood out?
It was probably our last tour actually, Quinta de Oviedo, which was a wine estate, but there was these beautiful gardens which we walked around. The views were just so great, looking over the vineyards. We had a wine tasting as well, with cheese and Portuguese cheeses, so we bought some of the chutney that came with that as well, so it was nice to have that and, you know, have some memories to bring back here. I also wanted to point out as well about the itinerary. When we had our sailing days, we also sailed through the locks, which was just such a great experience. I've never had that before. It was so interesting how it worked and, you know, what we were doing. When we went through the first one, a lot of us were out on deck, and they came out with an information sheet of all the locks we were going through on the different days. Mm-hmm. So it was just, a nice touch to give you the information, because people were really interested in that.
Okay, so now that you've been back for about a week, you've had some time to reflect on your experience. Is there anything that stood out? That was there a favourite part of the trip?
Yes, we'd come back from a tour in the morning, and there was a barbecue all set up on deck. We were really lucky. The sun was shining, the weather was beautiful, and we had that experience of a Portuguese barbecue, which if you can do on the ships, yes, it would be lovely. After that, we had music playing, and then we met all of the crew, so it was nice to see everyone, all the people behind the scenes that you wouldn't usually see. We were all up dancing, and it was just such a great experience and amazing atmosphere.
It seems like from everything you've said, like the crew are a really important overall part of the experience.
Yeah, definitely. They're all so friendly, so accommodating. They're just, you know, fun to be around, and they obviously love what they're doing. Okay, do you want to tell us a little bit about the Scenic Enrich experience? Oh yes, so this was another highlight, and I think a highlight for a lot of people on the ship. We went to the St. Francisco Church for a concert, and it was just incredible. There's about 20 of us in this huge church, and singers and orchestra. It was just such a great experience.
And Scenic Enrich experiences, are they included on, if I was going to go on a river cruise tomorrow, would I have the opportunity to have one?
Yes you would. They often do them in evenings. They're generally concerts like we did. So it was the night we were docked in Porto, and we just walked up to the church. It's about a 10-15 minute walk. The concert was about 45 minutes, and then we could just walk back. So it was just had dinner and then a nice experience after dinner, to then come back to the ship.
So it sounds like you had the opportunity to enjoy a lot of cool things during this trip, and I'm kind of interested to know how much of it was included.
Yes, so on board, pretty much everything, it was all inclusive. So we had, like I said, all food. We had the specialty dining of Portobello's. You've also got table d'or. There's also the River Cafe, which is sort of like a bar upstairs. We can get snacks throughout the day, room service, premium beverages, so much choice of wine, port, cocktails. At dinner, they'd always have a red and a white that paired with the meal. We had butler service. In the rooms, we had the mini bar. You couldn't really get much more. The only thing was the hairdressers and the treatment. So if you wanted to go for a massage or a facial, you could. But other than that, it was all sorted. Oh, we had Wi-Fi as well. So that was handy. But yeah.
So it's basically as all-inclusive as you can get.
Yeah. So on the last day, they said, go to pay for your bills, but we didn't have anything to pay for.
That's always the best part.
Yeah, great.
Okay, so it's fair to say that there's probably a misconception that river cruising specifically generally caters towards older guests. So I'm just kind of interested to know from your experience, like, what did you think? Who do you think this kind of cruise is suitable for?
Yeah, well, the age on board our trip was quite mixed. We were the youngest, but we had a great time. But I think if you're active, you like culture, you like to experience, destinations along the way. I think it's a great experience to see, remote places. I mean, we went to some Portuguese villages that, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you'd never see those places if you just took a land-based holiday generally, would you?
No, exactly.
Okay, so that's all for our scenic review. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more cruise content.
And if you've got any questions, please call me in the number below or leave a comment.
Thank you.
Thanks.